All right, ready to dive into something everyone gets? But the Irish-American way's got its own twist. Funerals. We're going past the serious stuff, figuring out why laughter, stories, even maybe pirate jokes fit right in with mourning.
And the sources you found for this are great, mixing planned out stuff with really personal stuff.
Exactly. We've got pieces of A Course, can you believe it, on Irish funerals, plus a eulogy that's heartwarming but also hilarious, a real tribute to the person.
That mix of respect and, celebration is what makes these funerals so interesting. Not about ignoring the sadness, but getting the whole picture of life, even in death.
Okay, so straight into Irish wakes. I've heard they're different. The sub you sent mentioned stories being a big part. More on that.
It's more than just telling tales. It's about keeping someone's spirit going. Goes way back when Ireland had it rough. Humor, part of those stories, helped them cope, find good in the bad.
So, like, laughing when things are tough, joy is a way to fight back.
Yeah, spot on. Saying death doesn't win totally. And these stories aren't just funny, they show you who the person really was. Like that one you pointed out, John O'Leary, making everyone think a cow was barking.
Oh, right. A prank, yeah. But it shows you he was clever, found the funny side of things. Does that go for the music at these funerals, too? Because Irish music, to me, means lively tunes.
Absolutely. You've got the fiddle, everyone knows that, but instead of those fast jigs, at a wake, it might play airs. Slower, sadder tunes make you think, create that thoughtful mood.
Like the instrument itself changes how it feels.
Totally. And then, bagpipes, often in the procession, Amazing Grace is actually common. Shows how Irish and American ways mixed over time.
So cool. But, gotta ask, this still throws me. Jokes at a funeral. Explain that one.
Makes sense if it sounds strange. Those jokes aren't being disrespectful. It's like taking away some of death's power by laughing, saying, you didn't take everything.
So the person's spirit, them making us laugh, that stays around.
That's it. Humor here becomes a way to really remember. Lets out emotion, you breathe for a sec, connect with everyone there, like Maggie Flanagan, outliving everyone.
Yeah. Funny because we relate, and laughing together helps when you're grieving.
And focusing on the good times, those happy memories, it's celebrating how they lived, not just that they're gone. Like Patrick Mulroney's fake treasure map keeps his adventurous side alive for everyone.
It's wild how small things become these strong reminders of who someone was. Speaking of strong stories, let's switch to a real one. Kevin Barron's funeral.
This is where those ideas become real. We'll hear how that humor, storytelling, remembering all happened at a real Irish-American goodbye.
This is what gets me. About to hear from people who knew Kevin best. Let's jump in with some of the eulogy from the priest who knew him. Starts by talking about Kevin and his mom, and, well, you'll hear the humor right away. So we're about to hear some of that eulogy from the priest. He starts with Kevin and his mom, and trust me, the humor's right there.
Kevin, 30 years old before he tied the knot, lived at home, mom there, a little TV, maybe a drink now and then. Mom of all these boys, his buddies would tease her, and she thought he was God.
You can hear how much the priest cared about him. This isn't just some formal thing, it's like a memory, but funny.
Exactly. And how he uses that humor to get everyone listening involved. They're not just quiet, they're laughing along, remembering Kevin as a group, really close feeling, especially when you're sad like this.
Like that laughter helps them remember him as he was, not just that he's gone.
Right. And the priest, he keeps going, talking about different parts of Kevin's life, mixing in those lighter moments with how generous he was, his faith.
Became a Jesuit scholar. Now, this is good. Talk about a good start. 1930, too much money. Amateur golfer, see? If he kept it, couldn't be amateur anymore. So his mom, she told him, give it away. Good cause needs it.
Classic, right? That Irish way of finding the funny side, even with something like giving money away. But never mean, always comes from a good place.
For sure. This is where that roasting idea fits in. Not about putting someone down, it's showing you care by poking a little fun. Big part of Irish culture, especially close groups.
So even when teasing Kevin, telling these funny stories, the priest's really celebrating who he was deep down.
Yeah, you got it. Painting a picture of a guy everyone loved, lots of laughs, big heart, even if he wasn't always, typical.
Kevin, his whole way of living, it was seeing the good in people, trying to be decent, a good person, Didn't need to be fancy, have it all written down. It was how you lived, right? What a gift that is.
How you lived that gets me every time. It's not about what you achieve, it's how you go about each day.
And reminding us that those values, being generous, being kind, we can all keep those going in our own lives.
Absolutely. But it's not just the priest with Kevin's stories. We also hear from his daughter, Mary Kate, and what she says is, wow, really gets to you, Mary Kate. Excerpt. Dad was always practical, making decisions. I'd go to him for everything. Friends, school, just life. Being 11 hours from college, that's not easy. And luckily, Dad was just a phone call away. Always. It's
Mm.
those small things, those calls back home that
Yeah,
mean the most sometimes, right? Usually what kind of dad he was.
for sure. Reminds us that even with all the big stuff, life and death, it's often the little moments that stick with you, how someone makes you feel, the quiet kindness. That's what makes up a life, really.
And hearing those memories shared, everyone together, it's powerful. Shows how much a good life can mean. It's like you're wrapped up in this feeling of everyone being there together, not just about the person who died, but everyone sharing stories, laughing, helping each other through it.
Exactly. Grieving together, remembering together. Irish wakes, funerals, especially how they are here in America now,
Hmm.
they give you that space to connect, remember, be there for each other when it's tough.
Like a tapestry. All those threads of funny stories, music, history, all woven together. Makes you think, how do other cultures handle death? Saying goodbye.
Totally. How we say goodbye is really personal, right? Your culture, family traditions, what you believe. Looking at how other people do it, it can change how you see dealing with loss, celebrating life.
And reminds us there's no one right way to grieve. What matters is remembering the person, finding ways to keep their spirit alive, right?
Hmm.
In our hearts, in our minds.
Exactly. So going forward, think about the stories, the traditions that have shaped how you see death. What rituals help you? What stories do you want to tell to make sure the people you love, their memory stays strong? That's something to think about.
Really is. And on that note, we're wrapping up this deep dive, taking a look at how the Irish American community says goodbye. It's more than tears, more than black ties. It's a celebration of life woven into mourning. From those lively wakes to that incredible eulogy for Kevin Barron, we've seen how laughter and storytelling keep the spirit alive long after someone's gone.
It reminds us that death, while inevitable, doesn't have to be the end of the story. By embracing those traditions, those moments of joy and remembrance, we honor the past and keep those memories close. So as we say goodbye for now, let's carry those stories with us, a reminder to live fully, love deeply, and never underestimate the power of a good laugh, even in the face of loss.